I think we can all agree that technology has changed the way we have lived our lives.
But when it comes to computers, we only have two options, laptops and desktops.
And with all of the options that you have today, it is hard to choose what is best for you.
But today, we'll dissect the pros, cons, and everything in between to determine which reigns supreme in the world of tech.
Whether you're a fan of raw power or great portability, this episode will leave you wondering which is truly better. Hi, I'm William Bowler,
And I'm Jack Carter, here to talk to you about laptops.
and how PCs blow them out of the water. All right, so firstly,
Well, I would just say that there are definitely many people that will say that laptops and PCs have very similar specs in many regards, but they will also say that PCs definitely are better than high-end PCs, I should add, are better than laptops. But I think it's safe to say that laptops can easily be on par with most PCs at the time, especially with all their new increasing capabilities from video editing and Photoshop and all that to gaming and being some of the best in the world at this point. What do you have to say, William?
So with talking about, I guess, computers, I do agree with you, I guess, that some computers are worse, but that's when you get to the really low budgets. You can maybe go on Amazon and find a $100, $200 computer, but let's be honest, when you're looking in that range, you're not really going for a really good computer. But when you go to something in the similar price range of what you would pay for a decent laptop, say $1,000, you could get stuff that's better. If not, you could get stuff that is pretty similar for maybe a little bit cheaper or not even better because it doesn't come with a monitor. But yeah, and stuff like that. But does more money for really mean more performance in the laptop field? Because I know that for
I would just like to say, yes, that is usually the case because more money means usually better quality of items, which is just a general rule of thumb for most things.
We went with the following parts. First up, an i5-12400F. Went i5 because it's somewhat comparable. It's definitely gonna be a better CPU overall compared to the laptop, but it is an i5, so we went that route. A Gigabyte B660M motherboard, DS3H. 16 gigs of RGB RAM. We went with Team Group RAM for this one. A 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. A Sapphire RX 6600, which was the problem with the previous comparison. GPU prices were very expensive, but nowadays this GPU can be had for $279. More on that later. The power supply, an EVGA 650GQ, and a Moravol mesh micro case. And the total of this build is $822, but when we factor in the setup part, you get a 144Hz screen, because that laptop has a 144Hz screen, you're looking at about $160 for an AOC model, and then you can get a Havoc keyboard and mouse combo, mechanical keyboard. Obviously you can get much fancier stuff, but I wanted to get something budget because really the keyboard on your laptop is not amazing anyways, so a budget keyboard and mouse seemed fair. That's about $40. Now I did put optional for the headset because, well, technically you could just use computer speakers you have or headphones, but we'll go and factor in a $30 budget headset, and even then, we are still below the price of the laptop. We're looking at about $1,050 for the full setup versus the gaming laptop, and in terms of performance, that RX 6600 will definitely perform better.
So as you can see inside of my video, it's basically saying that even for a computer that could run games such as what he was playing, Halo Infinite, I'm pretty sure, you could actually pay cheaper, around $800, $900 to get better specs than a laptop for $1,100, even when you add in the keyboard, the monitor, the headset, and all that, because yes, they even when you put in all of those, because with a laptop, most of those come inside of the actual package. But when it comes to actual pure convenience, which one do you think takes it?
I mean, it's easily the laptop. After all, it's as mobile as a phone, but far more powerful. But I do have to say that there are some limitations to some, as they are lightweight at times and very easy to break. However, most of the time they are heavy duty and are pretty hard to break. So it is sometimes a moot point, but you just have to be cautious when you're getting new laptops. But yeah, I would say the general convenience of a laptop is far greater than a normal PC, which is why I have this video for it.
And in 2022, which one should you buy? I smell a PC-centric test coming along. It wasn't even a good line anyway. The laptop we have here costs at the time of filming £999. This comes rocking an NVIDIA RTX 3060 mobile graphics card, an Intel i5 6-core processor, 16GB of RAM, 500GB of NVMe PCIe storage, and then this rather handy-dandy 144Hz display. All in all, it's alright, this laptop is tough, it's built to withstand things like that. But that was definitely not part of this video. Maybe we won't spin it next time. All in all, this is going to be a brilliant gaming machine, and if you do want to play the latest AAA titles, many of them at high refresh rate, then clearly this is going to be a brilliant rig to do it. But most importantly, this is actually available. I think you can still get next day delivery on this thing. So to say that this is in stock and available, I think is an understatement.
So as you can see from the video, like the guy accidentally drops the PC, but it doesn't even get a scratch on it, which for most cases, that is a pretty normal event. Like it's not like a phone where, like, let me just say, an Apple phone where if you drop it, it just explodes pretty much. But I would like to say, how and where can you use like your PC? Like how well do you think you can just use it normally? Like,
So like, portability, of course, is not the best, but if you're just like sitting down and using it, it's pretty easy once you have an actual place to put it or store it, you know. Even sometimes on the floor, depending on like what type of flooring you have, you could even put it there. And then if you just have like a desk where you could put like maybe like a little like monitor, that could be like, you know, all right. And then also where you could like put your keyboard and mouse and stuff like that, you could actually run a game pretty well and probably better than a laptop. And you could also like do stuff as like record and do stuff like that with it, of course. Also, there is kind of like a new piece of like technology coming to the market now. Of course, like we've had Nintendo Switch for a while, but that's like more of like a console. But now we're getting stuff like the Asus ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, which are basically like mini computers that you could just carry around anywhere. How does like a laptop like compare to something like that, which can maybe even like run a game on like higher specs and stuff like that with just by like having like a little form factor like a Nintendo Switch?
True. Though I would like to say that while we have these more handheld consoles, you definitely laptops are still going to beat them more, definitely, because the handheld consoles are more specialized into being gaming. However, laptops can be anything you want from them. They can be video editing, they can be gaming, they can be just normal work stuff that can just vary from thing to thing. I would like to say that you definitely have far more options when it comes to laptops compared to really anything else apart from a PC.
With my photo that's about to show up, you could see the actual specs in a PC versus a laptop. Ti, it still overperforms the RTX 3080 for a laptop, and also the RTX 3080 just completely destroys the, of course, the laptop GPU with the 3080, where it's getting an average of probably like 10, 20, even almost 20 FPS more than the actual laptop, which, you know, it's probably, and the fact is that a laptop GPU is maybe only like $100, maybe almost $200 less than a laptop or a PC GPU, which with that amount of performance that you're getting from the the PC GPU, you know, it's just like undeniable that you would probably want to get that, right?
True. The one thing I would like to critique about your photo is the fact that it only shows like the frame rate, right? Right?
Yeah, just
so
frame rate.
I think you should probably just also seen like the CPU usage and the GPU usage. But like just the general usage of a computer to achieve that, as PCs are definitely more bulky, they clearly are going to have the upper hand. But laptops, they are very thin, very compact, as I keep on saying. They are, and as the fact that they are on par with just like not even generation behind, below, like graphics card, it should just be fine.
Yeah. But like with a PC, you could also do like all those like more heavy demanding tasks, such as say like video editing or even 3D rendering. Like, how wouldn't like a PC like do better for like a cheaper price?
Well, I would just like to say that like laptops are pretty much the same as PCs. Like they're coming to a very similar point soon. And I would also like to point out that many game developers are planning on, or mainly making games with the mind of like they're going to be on PCs. They are not going to be on like laptops or like really anything else at times. So the fact that a laptop can play this at like RTX levels is really incredible because of how hard it would be for like how resource intensive it would be. And considering all the extra details to the laptop with all the like just amenities to it, like the light-up keyboard, which is very, very small to most people. However, that does still take away from some of the computing power and the like processor.
Yeah. I mean, I guess PCs, laptops also over like time, they kind of like degrade, I guess, faster, because I had a laptop a few years ago, and after like a year, maybe 2 years, when I first got it, I was able to run, say like a game like Fortnite at 120 frames per second, but then after like a year or two, it couldn't even pull like 45. So like, do you have anything on that, or?
I would like to say that there's a range of issues with that. First, I would just like to address that yes, laptops do definitely degrade and like how well they can compute and stuff. However, you can also take care of it, like maintain some of the items to it. Also, I have to imagine you were playing Fortnite and you were achieving like 120 FPS and then went down to 45. Could have just been like the compression of the software itself.
Well, what do you mean by compression?
Like, as in like how much has, this is just more on the developer side and less on like the laptop or game, like the game PC side. Just more of like how well have they like compressed and like made the file small enough so that most like items can run it.
They really, if you're talking about Fortnite, they really don't. If you talk about more update sizes, they could go for like a new season up to the 70, 80 gigabytes, and for a single update, it could be 20. So,
Yes. So
I wouldn't say there's much compression going on there. I feel like it's just like general, you know, sometimes I feel like probably I could have probably taken care of the laptop a little bit more, you know, but yeah, and stuff like that. Also with like just genuinely like, you know, being able to say like, switch out parts inside of a laptop. I know that with a PC, everything inside of your PC you could switch out, you could change, and stuff like that. Even like the general case, you could take everything out. But with a laptop, I know that there's only like a minuscule amount of stuff that you could change, such as like maybe your GPU. Sometimes those are even soldered in, and then like maybe your RAM, and then like probably your storage. Do you have anything like to say with like that, or?
I would like to say, yes, you do have a point there with how modular a PC can be, and while a laptop is more confined to what it is pre-made with. So I do have to agree with you on that point.
Okay. So if you do want more information on the subject, you could go to CDW's The Pros and Cons of the Two Device Types. And?
You can also go to you can also go to my website, which is a trusted review on how powerful a laptop can be. It is, I've read it throughout, and I would have to say it is a very insightful article. So. I think we both can agree that we've both made strong arguments about what computer types are better.
Yeah, with how convenient a laptop is and how powerful a desktop can be.
But I'm still asking myself this question, which is better?
It's hard to say with the wide differences that they have.
Though it might be the laptop. After all, it can go anywhere and is more powerful than a phone.
Yeah, desktop is the most powerful thing you could get, and not to mention its upgrade compatibilities.
It is a hard way to say which is better, but I think it just comes down to which one you like more, like down to preferences. So.
Well, I'm William Bowler.
And I'm Jack Carter, and we're signing off.